Welcome to StartupHakk. Today we're going to talk about 3 things that I despise about Scrum. Hi, I'm Spencer Thomason, founder of StartupHakk, where we train developers from 0 to full stack in just 3 months. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that I can't stand about Scrum. First off is the definition of done. I think I've spent so many countless hours debating the definition of done. Is it when it goes to production? Is it when the devs complete with it? Is it when QA is done testing? Is it when it's in test? Is it once it's in UAT? Like, what is the definition of done? And no one can ever agree on what that definition of done is. To the developers, it means one thing. To the project manager, it means another thing. To everybody involved, it means something completely different. Because of that, it completely breaks down all of Scrum. The entire premise of Scrum ends up coming down to the definition of done. And because there can never be any agreement on this, to me, done is when it's in production. It's when somebody is using the code. However, that doesn't work in Scrum, because if you say the definition of done is in production, then that's not going to work for your sprint cadences, because you can't get it all the way to production usually in a sprint. In fact, in very few organizations have I been able to do that. So that's one of the first reasons I hate Scrum. Second reason I hate Scrum: planning meetings and estimation. I get that we try to make software development estimatable, and I get that we want to become predictable, and that really is the premise of Scrum, is the ability to make it predictable. That doesn't work in Scrum however, if you say you're going to cram all of innovation into a 2-week sprint, this planning meeting and this estimation that you get completely neuters the entire process of innovation. And that's where I really despise it, is because what you're doing is you're giving all the power of innovation to the project managers who's writing the stories. Then you get into this meeting and lock 10 devs together, and you have to fight over whether this is a 3, 5, 6, 8, whatever. Like, I don't even remember all the numbers, because at this point, I don't even care, because it becomes an asinine project. If you really want to innovate, get a dev, let him start hacking on stuff, and really hack on things. And for a long time, my Instagram handle, a lot of other things are hacker, because to me, part of development is getting in, hacking around until you figure something out. Some of the most innovative things that I've built in my time have been from hacking, whether it's with CleanRouter, where I stayed up for almost every night for 6 months in a row, literally hacking on a board, soldering into it, hacking, or StartupHakk, where we've been hacking together, the best course that you can get to train a developer. It's all about trial and error. And if you're saying, hey, we're going to fit that into a 2-week box, you're not going to be innovative. I guarantee you at SpaceX and at Tesla, they're not sitting there saying, well, we can only accept this story if it comes into the sprint. It can be done in 2 weeks. When you want to do something, you've got to innovate and you've got to break some stuff. And that's not going to fit into a 2-week sprint, nor is it going to fit into something that a project manager is going to write down. Reason number 3 that I can't stand Scrums: retros. Now, I understand that retros are good in a way, and I understand that at certain times and places they're needed, and they can be very valuable. However, if I have to play one more dumb game to make it so that retro isn't the same thing we've hashed through the last 2 weeks, and part of the problem is that you do these retros and you do them every single Scrum cycle or every sprint cycle, and with that, it means that every 2 weeks you're rehashing the same things that you just talked about 2 weeks ago. I've often told teams that I can't stand retro, because to me, it feels like a 6th grade election. Ever been in those 6th grade elections where they're running for president and the 6th grader promises everybody that they'll get unlimited recesses and ice cream every single day? That to me is what retros feel like. It becomes these utopian things that aren't even possible, that somebody, whoever it is that's running the retro, starts promising people that we're going to make a priority next sprint. And do you really think that the code quality and refactoring that one method that everybody hates is going to be a business priority? No, you're going to get into the planning with the stakeholders and they're going to be like, screw that. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the developers whine and complain about this code that they've had to deal with and debug 50,000 times and they hate. It's going to get thrown out the window as soon as it comes to a priority. So the retro and how it integrates to planning and the constant utopian and what I call the 6th grade election around these retros, and honestly where you get that one guy who's in the retro every single time just complaining over something different that happens every single retro. I think we all know who that guy is. These are the reasons, another one of the reasons I cannot stand Scrum. Because of course, if you're not doing your retros, then you're not doing Scrum right. And if you're not doing Scrum right, then of course it didn't work, right? And that's always how Scrum goes. So these are some 3 main reasons that I don't love Scrum, but I do love software development. I love Agile. I actually teach Kanban. It's one of the things that I always really push. So here at StartupHakk, we love to train developers to go from 0 to full stack developers in 3 months. And I love staying agile, moving quickly, writing awesome code, and being innovative and helping businesses grow using software development. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here. If you like this, make sure you share it with some friends. And if you know anybody who wants to get into development, make sure they check out startuphakk.com/start now. And if you do, we can give you an awesome offer to get started today so that you can code your future.